ethics, trust and privacy is for me the most important part of doing people analytics and ONA. And it's also perhaps the part that practitioners have the most challenge with as well. So I saw some fascinating research recently from Insight 222 that suggested that 81% of people analytics projects are jeopardized by ethics and or privacy concerns. And actually that tallies with some research we've just done at IBM as well, which is being published soon, which found that 80% of organizations believe HR urgently needs guidance on the fair and ethical use of people analytics. So yeah, I definitely share your concerns around that. Talking to organizations that have been doing this well and are actually actively looking at email metadata and other social data, some good practice I've seen, I'd say is, firstly, get to know your chief privacy officer. I think that's really important. And if you don't have one of those, there will be someone in the legal department that is responsible for privacy. Every project should get the stamp of approval before you proceed and before you communicate the results. And then I think that extends itself, establishing a governance council with relevant stakeholders from business, HR, IT and legal to discuss and prioritize the projects that you're working on. Then, have a written code of conduct around how you're going to use employee data, keep it up to date and share that within the organization. And then the next part is that why not be open and transparent with your employees? I think in fact, I'd probably put that as number one. If you can't explain the benefits to the organization and the employees of using and analyzing that data, then perhaps you shouldn't do it. I think being open and transparent, and look maybe to do pilots to some of the companies that I've spoken to, they're big global organizations. Think about doing a test project for a defined employee group, particularly if you're looking at something like email data, and perhaps do it in one country. This will help you get some initial insights, maybe quicker and in a more cost-effective way. It will maybe help you refine what you're doing as well moving forward. And it will help you get some benefits, perhaps not just for the business, but for employees as well. And this will help you when you look to extend that project maybe to other countries, maybe some of those countries that have naturally more concerns and more law around use of ethics and privacy. I'm thinking some of my colleagues in Europe here as well. So I think that's important. And maybe, when you've shared the benefits, share and communicate the stories on how this has helped the organization, but also how it's helped employees as well. If I'm an employee and I can understand, the behaviors and the networks that I need within the organization to be more successful, that's great. And if that can help me be better at my job and help my career, that would be fantastic. I think the ultimate goal really of people analytics is to help measure employee productivity in real time. With ONA, but there has to be an employee side of that as well. So yeah, ethics I think will continue to be probably the main challenge within people analytics, certainly for the foreseeable future. We've got things like the general data protection regulations coming into force in the EU in May 2018, and I know from speaking to people analytics practitioners that this is a big challenge for them and a big challenge for their organisations. So it should be first and forefront.